Most people find it hard to believe, but I live and work in a fully net zero development. I also live in the Sustainable City, the first community of its type in Dubai. We have 11 biodome greenhouses and a 10 megawatt peak solar production, and it was built to prove the idea that a wholly sustainable community is possible. So I've been a practicing landscape architect for the last 16 years here in Dubai. And over those years, I've really developed a passion for what I call a productive landscape. So a landscape that doesn't just look beautiful, but serves a purpose for growing food, creating habitat, creating shade and microclimates. In 2019, I joined Expo 2020. And Expo 2020, of course, is the most amazing place, and it has a very strong focus on sustainability. It's one of its key principles there. So it's always been a dream of mine to try and live off of one of the landscapes that I've created. Coming into my 50th year, I decided to set myself a challenge, which I call the Sustainable Human Project. The Sustainable Human Project is about eating from one of the landscapes that I have designed and implemented for one whole entire year. Essentially, it's around food that I grow or trade for with my neighbors within the neighborhood that I live in. So it's been just a fantastic learning process. And when you look at the three pillars of sustainability, social, economic, and environmental, it's really something that I've learned that you have to have all three of those in balance for a project to work. So far I've been doing really well, but for things that I can't grow, I've implemented a barter system. So like the old days with my neighbors. So what I do is I take recycled wood from the community and I create carpentry works, usually things around urban farming that I trade with my neighbors. One of the great things about this is that it brings me back to thinking about how our grandfathers might have lived. So you have to set up a system with whoever you want to trade with, and you have to really stick to your word. So you have to make sure that both parties are happy with what you're going to trade, and then if you commit to making that trade, both parties have to come together. So in a situation where I'm in, where I rely on these trades for food, it's really important. And that makes me think back to the days where people had to stick to their word, and their word was so important, because if you didn't, very important things like your food, your shelter would fall through. The Desert Farming Project at Expo 2020 is, I think, a game changer. It is focused on growing plants with three things that are in abundance in the UAE, which is sun, sand, and salt water. So it's taking these three things and combining them in a very simple system to be able to grow plants with salt water. And that is an absolute revolutionary thing. You can imagine, by using this product, we are doing two things. We're growing food, and we're also helping to save our oceans.